Hey Sarah, look, my phone's recording a podcast.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. It's called the MCU Review. It's this podcast where me and this weird chick, her name's Sarah,
That's my name.
we review movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I don't see anyone else in this closet, so I guess I'm the Sarah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Sarah without an H?
Yes.
Oh, I guess you're her then.
Yeah.
That's weird. What are you doing?
You have like a freaking...
You're moving my glue gun?
Yes. Oh, I did bring my pen in here. Hi. Hey, welcome to the podcast.
And my closet.
Woo.
Anywho, this week we watched Iron Man 3, the beginning of Phase 2 of the MCU. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe it is your week to do the summary.
Oh, hey. Okay.
Because I did Captain America. We did a joint effort of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Which means it's your turn.
Okay.
Sarah does not sound excited.
Woo! So, we watched Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
It started out with him doing some narration, which was a little weird. It was him narrating, basically him in Sweden, being like, I made some enemies this day. I didn't know it at the time, because, you know, afterwards I immediately got shot in the chest, and, you know, bomb and all of that. Jensen. Yeah, all of that. Iron Man 1. Go watch your podcast.
Go watch the podcast?
Yes. Yes, go watch it. And, so they're like, yeah, this is me. I'm doing things. He has like a one-night stand. He tells the dude, yeah, I'll totally meet you out on the roof in 5 minutes. Never does. And then, we see Jensen being like, hey, a thing. And then disappears off into the abyss of one. And then, he says he's a changed man. That he's different from that time. He's still a jerk, though. So, you know, don't know how much.
Oh, well.
And, it goes back to what we know as,
Present?
present. And
AKA 2012.
yeah, and it's Christmas-ish time.
The movie came out in May.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. And
But
then,
there are Christmas trees everywhere.
I don't remember what happened after that. I know it's not really specific.
So it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Pepper is talking to the guy, Killigan.
No, she's talking to Happy, and Happy...
She's talking to Happy.
And
He's
then
the head of security.
he's making sure everyone got their badge. And then,
She goes and has the meeting with Killigan.
yeah, and he's like, this is my brain.
Look at my brain.
Look at it. Pinch me. Look at my brain more. And she's like, yes, I like what you did, but no. I'm gonna have to decline. Goodbye. And, so he goes off. And then Pepper goes to Stark. And Stark has given her a really big bunny. Like, it was really small arms, but it looks like boobs. And, he is like, do you like the bunny? It's Christmas. And she's like, no, I don't. And he's like, ah, come on! And then, he hasn't slept in, like, 3 days.
Happy goes to, like, someone's being shady, and he's like, I'm gonna follow that dude.
I'm gonna do some research. And, while he does that, he gets blown up by the dude, and he's in a coma for the rest of the movie, basically.
And, you know,
And,
Tony's triggered.
Tony is walking out of the hospital from visiting him, triggered, and someone's like, are you gonna kill the, what is it? Mandarin is the boss, like the bad guy of this thing, and he's like, are you gonna kill him? And he goes, oh, no, he didn't think about it. It's arms, but it looks like boobs.
Okay.
And, he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And then he says, like, this weird speech, takes the guy's phone, throws it away after telling everyone his address, and goes back home. And Pepper's like, we gotta go! We can't stay here! And then there's this one girl the main scientist, botanist that he had the one night stand with in Switzerland, who's like, "Hey, yeah, I gotta tell you a thing." And then him and Stark and Pepper fight a little bit, and the girl's like, "Should we worry about that?" And you see like a missile coming towards the house, and before they have time to react, the missile hits, and Stark gives Pepper the suit, but does his thing with whoosh whoo
arm pepper pots.
Yeah, with his arm movements, and
it's like he does like kind of kung fu. It's not really kung fu, but he's like directing suit because he implanted those chips in his arm at the beginning of the movie.
And he's like, "Sasha, Pepper," and it gives it to Pepper, and Pepper and the girl get out, and Stark does it, but like,
he's in his suit.
When Pepper gets clear, he calls the suit back to him, and that's what they do, is they suit up. And he gets caught underwater by his house, and then like Jarvis is like, "I got an idea." Take a deep breath, takes his arm off, and then like
carries him out.
Yeah, carries him out by it. He has no house anymore now.
I mean, I'm sure he owns more than one house.
Yes, but that's his favorite. Clearly, because he lives there more.
Or maybe that's just closer to his business.
Actually, I don't think it's that close to his business.
I mean, it's in the same
it's
state.
It's like his beach house, but on a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I don't know what happens after that.
Then they go to Tennessee, because,
yeah, the suit takes him all the way to Tennessee near this one thing that he was researching.
Have you talked about the explosions at all?
The ones with,
the people? Yeah.
With Happy. But, people keep exploding. They, like, it's, like, Meridian related, and he was like, "No, I want before that."
Mandarin.
Mandarin.
You said Meridian.
Yes, I did. I'm not good with names.
Okay, so, there was one explosion in Tennessee, and he's like, "Jarvis,
take me there.
Take me to there."
It's like
Jarvis,
plan a flight, and Jarvis is like, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Jarvis starts doing that, but then later
they get attacked, and then Jarvis takes him to Tennessee, and then Tony's like, "Why are we here?" He's like, "I planned a flight," and Tony's like, "This is not what I meant."
And then he gets out of the suit, and the suit stops working.
Like it breaks.
And then Jarvis is just like, "I think I'm going to take a nap now."
And then he goes into this weird shack. Turns out it's this kid's, but it's his parents, but his mom is at work, and so it's his kids. And his kid is like, "Who are you?" And Tony's like, "A mechanic."
And then he's like, "I'm Tony. I am Iron Man." And he's like, "Well, you're dead."
Yeah. And then he's like, "I have a suit," and he's like, "Okay, cool."
And then he's like, "Oh, cool. Gonna touch the thing." And Tony's like, "I need these things. Give them to me."
Yeah, one being a watch, and it's like a Dora watch. Limited edition, may I add.
One being a sandwich.
Yeah, one being a sandwich and a computer and a couple of other things to work on the suit. And they do that, and, why?
Don't question me.
And, he goes and researches the person that exploded, but the kid, follows, and they go to the spot, and there's, 5 shadows, but, 6 people were killed. And he tells them about the legend of it, and he's like, "Yeah, cool, not what I wanted. I'm gonna go find a person." So he finds the wife.
The mom.
Oh, was it mom?
Yeah.
It was the mom of the dude that exploded.
Because people were like, he built a bomb because he was a depressed military ex-person.
And Tony was like, "I don't think he built a bomb. I think..." He's starting to get the idea that the people are the bombs.
Yeah.
But slowly. And he's like, "I don't think he killed these people, on purpose.
He was used.
Yeah, I think he was used." And then he, looks at a file, during that. And then, he gets, sort of arrested by, someone.
She says she's, with the FBI or whatever. But then the sheriff's just like, credentials, please. I want to, what's going on? I don't trust you." And then she turns out to be, a flame person.
Yeah, and then that's when he figures out they explode. It's because they start setting things on fire with their body and all of that. And so he kills the girl.
He, like, puts dog tags in a microwave
Yeah,
and
and
then
it
lights some gas.
Yeah, and he explodes the thing. And then he didn't really kill the other person, but because he didn't know about, like, their super healing.
Mm-hmm.
And, but he, if he was a normal person, would have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went away with he hurt him with the help of the kid, because he gave him, like a flashbang, sort of. And, the kid was like, yeah, this is, the code word was, Tony was like,
no.
You know what I taught you about bullies, right? And then
Tony,
he was like, whoosh.
Tony gave it to him because, like, he was like, a kid's bullying you. Here, do this and it'll stop him.
Yeah.
Bully deterrent. And then, and so I was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Boosh.
Yeah, and so Tony wants to leave to do stuff, but the kid's like, you're trying to guilt trip him into staying. And, it doesn't work, and Tony leaves. And he calls Rhodes, and it's like, hey, you know about, I need your password and stuff.
For this thing, because it was the same company that was, like, you know...
Did his suit.
Yeah, it was...
Like, redid his suit.
Or they were the ones who, you know, are secretly the Mandarin, or, like, involved in it, and whatever.
Yeah. And so they were like, hey, I need to look up stuff.
While this is happening, he's, like, Rhodes is going to, like, different places.
Yeah, one, he goes to, like, what is the first one?
It's, like, just a room.
Yeah, it's just, like, a normal home, and he's like, and then Tony calls him up, and it's like, hey, I need your stuff, and, like, the people are, like, laughing at his password, which is War Machine Rocks with an X, all caps.
Yep.
And
then Tony goes into a news van, and the cameraman is a big fan of Tony.
Has, like, his haircut, his mustache cut, or, like, his mustache and beard cut.
He has a tattoo.
And he has a tattoo of him. And Tony's, like, freaked out at this point. He's like, this is crazy. But I need, not to, like, get you down or anything, but I need you to do stuff on the roof.
Listen, dude, I'm on a mission. Fighting bad guys. I need you to go onto the roof and do this thing. And he's like, yeah, you're Tony Stark. You're amazing. I'll do whatever you say, Mr. Stark.
Mr. Stark, I did it. And, yeah. So he hacks into that. He finds all sorts of stuff out about Ames.
He like, sees he finds out, like...
That people are exploding.
The thing was, they were military people who were, like, wounded.
Yeah.
And they promised them, like, oh, this thing, it can heal you.
Yeah, and it did.
Like, if you're, like, missing a limb, it can, like, regrow you that limb. Like,
and it did, like, do that. But there was one patient that it didn't go very well on.
When they were doing the experiment,
yeah.
And he died.
He exploded.
He go boom.
And Tony's like, oh, okay. And then it goes back to Rhodes, who is gone, trying to find the, Mandarin.
Yeah.
And, he goes into, like, the sweatshop, and he's like, hold still, like, freeze. And he's like, wait, these are all women in a cinch. But and so he's like, you're free if you weren't before. And, except one of the girls was actually from Ames, and she kidnaps Rhodes.
Yeah.
And takes them to...
I think that was, like, the actress who played the Wicked Witch in Once Upon a Time. I don't watch it. I've seen, like, some of the seasons. I don't watch it, but, like, I know people who watched it.
Yeah. And then, Tony finds out that they are in Miami, Florida, from Jarvis, who's a little messed up at this moment.
He's talking, and he's like, I think I'm alright, but sometimes at the end of sentences I say the wrong cranberry.
Yeah. And he tells the kid to be like, make sure that was correct. And he's like, yep.
About Miami?
Yeah. He was like, yep, it's Miami. And he's like, okay. And so, and then on the way, still on the phone call, he kind of has like a panic attack, or like an anxiety attack, or like PTSD moment. And the kid's like, why don't you go build something? And instantly Tony's like, fine, and goes build something, like tons of somethings. and he uses that to infiltrate the building, and he meets the actor who was acting like...
His name's
Trevor. And he's like, whoa, 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 I'm just an actor.
Dude, calm down.
All of this is fake. Okay, some of it isn't later he's like, okay, some of that wasn't fake, but I didn't know. And, Tony gets captured because his suit isn't all that well, but, like, he breaks out. No, like, because he didn't have his suit. Sorry, brain not working. And, Rhodes is in the same facility, but, like, Tony breaks out with a suit.
Because he calls his suit that was still charging with the kid. His name's Harley?
Yeah, I don't know. And it took some time, but it
And he was like, bleh, bleh, it's not working. Give me a second. I'm going to fight you guys.
And he did, and it was great. And Rhodes' suit got taken. And then they learned that from the actor that the vice president is somewhat involved. They don't know how. Like, maybe he might be captured.
Hold up. Can I say this? First off, you missed the part where the scientist lady was secretly evil and they kidnapped Piper. Pepper. It's Pepper.
I don't know names.
I said Piper because that was... I'm sorry. Piper. Pepper. These Peter Piper pickled peppers, okay?
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts. They let...
Virginia.
Is it Virginia?
It's
Virginia Pepper Potts.
It's in...
Hogan.
Hold on.
Hogan.
It's in
Is her last name.
Virginia Pepper Potts Hogan.
Yep, that is her name. But the thing is, the botanist lady, scientist woman, there's a scene where...
She's like, I've been evil. And she's like, nah, not all science is evil.
And then Killigan, what's his face, is like, I have your girlfriend, haha. And then she's like, I'm gonna kill myself. You won't have any of the research. And then he shoots her, and he's like, I don't need you. And that's how we find out that Pepper's in danger. And then the Mandarin's like, I think the vice president's involved somehow.
Yeah, the vice president, a boat somewhere off the coast.
Yeah.
And, video. Yep, and he's like, speed, because they can't take a suit because it's not working properly. And he's like, speedboat, you have it.
Because
commandeering it.
First, when, Tony was talking to the Mandarin, he, falls asleep, and then, Tony wakes him up, and he's like, it's a lovely speedboat. And then and Tony's like, wait, did you say something about a speedboat?
Mm-hmm. And so they take the speedboat, and they call the vice president, but, we find out the vice president is evil, but...
I mean, he had good intentions. Either his, daughter or his granddaughter, had lost a leg. And so he was like, they promised me my daughter's leg. I'm trusting these people.
And, they find out later that when he doesn't send the backup they asked for.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't say Pepper and the president. And Tony's like, watch me. And so we see the suit save
the people on the plane?
People on the plane, but he doesn't get the president because Rhodey's suit took the president back to Killigan. And Tony goes to go to Pepper with the suit, but the suit gets hit by a truck. And we
find out that Tony wasn't in the suit.
And he had the headset we saw earlier in the movie. Which is when Pepper came home from work from Killigan. Watch the movie. And they go to save the president
and Pepper
because they found out they're in the same spot. And they have the president strung up over oil that they plan on setting on fire. They don't really have a reason to kill the president. They just want to. He comes up with this fake reason.
Well, it's a reason. It's just not his motivation. He just wants. He just needed an excuse to kill the president.
To get the vice president in the president's spot. And Tony initiates the house party protocol.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And it takes a little bit for them to get there, but like Rhodes is like, we need backup, but
No, he's like, I really want a suit right now. I wish I had a suit. And then Tony's like, Merry Christmas, and all the suits show up.
Yeah.
And then he gets a suit, and then Rhodes like, well, okay, suit me up, and he's like,
Yeah.
no, I got you covered.
I only have it calibrated to me. He doesn't even mention like the chips in him.
Yeah. So instead, he just has Jarvis take Rhodes away in one of the suits.
Yeah.
And then Rhodes saves the president.
And then gets his suit back because the president was in Rhodes' suit.
There's a fight scene, stuff happens. Pepper assumingly dies, but she doesn't die.
She comes back and saves Tony from Killigan.
And then Killigan dies.
Killigan dies. The vice president is arrested. And all is good. And we see the end credit scene with Tony.
It's not the end credit
Okay,
scene.
so
but
they do the clean slate protocol, which explodes all the suits.
Pepper, if you did not know, they'd like given her like the fire thing, which was like it heals you, but I don't know why they did that. It could potentially make you explode. So yeah, but then Tony's just like,
I got you.
Figured out how to heal Pepper, got the shrapnel out of his heart, and then gave Harley a bunch of presents.
Yeah, and then he got Dummy. Dummy survived.
He got Dummy from the rug.
And he threw his old, like, arc reactor into the
ocean
where his house was.
I feel like that's not a good idea. Like,
yeah,
I feel like
that could go into wrong hands. And,
or fish gills.
Yeah. It's just not...
Think of the environment, Tony.
Tony! And then, we see the end credit where Tony is talking to Banner and Banner was asleep. Like, he was, like, telling the movie to Banner, and Banner was like, hey, I totally wasn't asleep. And Tony's like, you were! You were supposed to be listening to him. He's like, I'm not that kind of doctor. And Tony's like, well, you should be. And he's like, I don't have that kind of temperament. But Tony was like, you don't have that kind of time, do you? And he's like, no, temperament. And then
because,
ends.
You won't like him when he's angry.
Yeah, you won't like him when he's angry.
Okay, going through notes. First note I have is Tony narrating. Why?
I said it starts out with narration, which is weird. And then musicana, which is blue, which is the side blue. Abba-dee, abba-dee,
no, it's like, there was a man, and it's blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's the start of the song.
Yeah. Well, that's the part that it was at.
Yeah.
We didn't get to the blue baba deep baba da part.
Until we saw Jensen!
Yeah. Jensen was at the party in Switzerland in 1999 on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Or Eve.
New
Both,
Year's Eve.
kind of.
Both. Yeah, it was both.
Dummy. We get to see Dummy. Not in Switzerland or Sweden.
Just in regular time.
In present time, Tony tells him to clean something.
Yeah. And then Iron Man's like, I've changed. And I was like, no, you haven't. You're still a jerk.
So, like, I have a note of, okay, so in the beginning of the movie, he's, like, implanting the stuff in his arm,
yeah.
so he can, like, spread his arms and, like, the suit will, like, come to him, or he can do the karate stuff that, like, guides the suit. It's weird, but that happens, and, I have down, it's like that bracelet that he put on in the Avengers, but it's inside of him.
Yeah, he doesn't keep that because, he doesn't have any suits.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I mean, I think he does keep it.
Maybe.
It doesn't show him removing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a point where Sarah says, I feel sorry for Penny, meaning Pepper.
Yeah, because they always get in fights, They really put the subtle in the Christmas thing. Because they're like, here's a tree, here's another tree, here's another tree, Merry Christmas to you. And, 5 minutes. It's like, they're jam-packing it full of Christmas.
Mm-hmm. So there's, mine immediately skips to the Dora watch.
Oh, mine is, Stark may be rude, but he cares when he's, talking to a kid, when he's like, here's the bully deterrent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's like a flare thing.
Yeah.
And then I have Dora watch. It's limited edition. Because he's like, I need a watch. And he gave him, his sister's little Dora watch.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Pepper because Maybe OTP, but man, a lot of BS she has to put up with. That's when I couldn't read my own handwriting there for a moment because I wrote it really fast. It was when he was doing like the call thing to her in the booth.
In the booth.
Yeah. And then and then Jarvis is like giving him like sass while he was like Jarvis is like slowly like dying.
Powering them.
Yeah, he's like, well, I gave you a flight plan. Here you are. And then Jarvis seems scared when he's like, I'm going to take a nap. Yeah.
Sleepy time now.
I have, when the kids suggest stealth mode. Stealth mode is all I have.
You got excited about stealth mode.
Yeah.
So I have Gary. Just a note that says Gary. Because Gary is the name of the camera guy who was like, I love you!
Yeah. I have Tony has the potential for extreme goodness. Yeah.
I have a note that says I think that was the actress from who played the Wicked Witch from Once Upon a Time.
I have when the kid, when we see like Mandarin for like the second time, I'm like, I'm getting Far Cry vibes for Mandarin. Because I played Far Cry 5, it's the only Far Cry game I've played. But like, it's probably the man bun and the weird beard that was giving me the vibes and like the rudeness coming off of him. But yeah.
I haven't played those games at all, so I wouldn't know.
It's Far Cry 5. Love-hate relationship. I liked most of the game, hated the ending.
I have a note that says lovely speedboat.
Lovely speedboat. I have still with the kid is and their questions, man, because the questions he was asking, he's like, I'm having a panic attack here, and the kid's like asking all sorts of more questions, like, no, calm down, kid, stop it. And then Tony and PTSD means he probably doesn't like baths anymore, because I remembered when he got dunked into the water multiple times. Yeah, he probably doesn't like baths anymore. It's probably strictly into showers.
No, he could only take a bath with a bath bomb. I like to think of Tony Stark just leisuring with a bath bomb. Yeah. It's not really a manly thing, but who said Tony Stark's a manly man?
I also, we're back at Penny. I don't remember when, but man, I almost forgot it's Christmas.
I'm sorry. What did you
I can't do names. I'll throw this pen at you. But, it was, man, I almost forgot it's Christmas. Sure needed that commercial to remind me.
Because there was, like, a
TV going, and they're like,
here's a collapsible Christmas tree.
Yeah, and then it turned into a Mandarin thing. But, Tony and Rhodes are BFFs when he was, like, driving.
Hey.
And yeah. And the family was laughing. Yeah. I remember I have, when he's searching for stuff, like
at the store?
I say the wrong cranberry. I have that written down.
Sometimes it's the wrong cranberry.
The next thing I have is the panic panic button thing. Do you have anything before that?
No. I mean, I'm already at the lovely speedboat.
Okay. I panicked and then I handled it. Is my life.
Cause somebody asked the Mandarin, Trevor.
The actor of Mandarin.
Why didn't he use the panic button? And he was like, I panicked, but then I handled it.
That's like my life right there, is I panicked, but I handled it. And then I have the limited edition, cause I remember that the watch was limited edition.
And then that dude broke it.
Yeah,
it was very
broke it. I was like, hey, that's limited edition.
It's not mine, it's my friend's sister's.
Your notes are like really far. Mine is like, he's a dragon when he's like escaping.
Blows. Yeah. The Killigan dude breathes fire.
And then the
Christmas theme came out in May.
Yeah. And then I have actors confuse people because it confused both Tony and Rhodes.
Because he was like, dude,
this is the Mandarin.
But he's not. He's an actor.
Yeah. And then Ames is rude, man. Kidnapping people.
You know, kidnapping people.
Yeah.
Setting people on fire.
Setting people on fire.
Rude.
And then I have House Party Protocol. Do you have anything for that?
House Party Protocol equals all the suits. And Tony's got a lot of suits.
I have House Party Protocol is the only type protocol that I want.
You just want
I just want many house party protocols.
You don't
house party protocol number 2.
You don't like people, but if it was just a party filled with Iron Man suits.
Yeah, I mean, if Jarvis... I'm pretty sure Jarvis can make them dance.
I bet that would be a featured
Yeah.
Stark would, you have
Yeah, so, put that in there. And then I have Tony, Tony was, trying to, shoot people.
Yeah.
And, he was, missing, because he's like, I can't shoot a light bulb from that far away. I was like, Tony Totes knows what he's doing here, And his friend Rhodes goes, and shoots it.
Yeah.
Immediately. And party! When all the suits showed up.
Yeah.
And then Jarvis is the ultimate backup.
Jarvis always knows how to handle it.
I have a clean slate program after that.
The next, so when Pepper saved the day, but she was all flamey.
Yeah.
I have Pepper looking hot, literally. Tony's still narrating because he was still narrating. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Tony is going to have to make more suits. This was right before the protocol.
Uh-huh.
It's he's going to have to make more suits if he wants to do this again.
Because a lot of suits got destroyed.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that the clean slate protocol was coming up. And then I have a little derpy, but Mark 42 is here to save the day. And he didn't save the day, but he exploded.
He tried.
Yeah, he tried. And I have, you wouldn't like Pepper when she's angry for when she's flaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Speedboat to the rescue of how they get home.
Because how do they get, okay, so they're on an oil rig.
Yes.
All of the suits have exploded.
Yes. You would think
don't know where the President and Rhodes are. I'm assuming they made it to safety. The only assumption I can have of how they made it home is the lovely speedboat.
Yeah, the lovely Speedboat. And
Okay.
then I have end credits,
So I have the note about Pepper looking hot, literally.
Hot.
Tony's still narrating because at the end, he starts narrating again, which is weird.
Yeah, because I was fast forwarding and I had to back up.
No, it was during the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Before the movie ended.
Yeah.
And then Harley got presents because, Tony,
Yeah.
he, everything in, the house, in, his garage room thing.
Yeah.
Got replaced and got all, fancy. I wonder how he did that or how Harley's mom feels about that.
Yeah,
if she's, kind of creeped out, I don't know what's happening. But, because assumingly that happened in one day.
Probably.
Because, Harley seemed like he didn't, know it.
His mom might have been at work, but, I'm assuming she has to sleep sometime. But, yeah, she might have been what are you doing?
And it's gifts from your
I'm
kid's
Santa.
friend. Gifts from your kid's friend. The mechanic.
The mechanic. He signs the card. He's potato gun Mark II from your friend, the mechanic.
I think it says from your pal, which
From
I
your
thought
pal?
was weird. But
Because who says pal anymore?
people who have pen
Buddy
pals.
pal, friend o' mine.
But it's when okay, so it shows him getting off the bus.
I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your pal, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. And then it goes all over
What
again.
is that from?
People, you're gonna have to look it up.
Okay, guess I'll do that later.
Yeah,
But-
it goes, I'm not your friend. Someone's friend, and it's I'm not your friend, pal. I'm not your pal, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. And then,
Okay.
something like that.
So,
it's longer. But
So when Harley's getting off the school bus and goes into his garage, it's not winter anymore.
yeah, it's not winter anymore, but it's still near Christmas.
It might have been a time skip to later.
Okay,
I guess.
maybe.
I don't know how the weather in Tennessee works.
I don't either.
Then okay, so it's okay, so Tony went back to throw the arc reactor into the ocean, which seems questionable. But then he's driving away and he has this little cart hooked up. He has a trailer hooked up to the back of his car and dummies in it.
Yeah. I noticed that in the scene with the gifts that he gave him kind of a better dummy. Like a tiny
robot arm?
Yeah. A better dummy. Because it seemed to be, like, working properly.
Dummy had a numbs hat at the beginning of the movie, and it was great. So at the end, in the end credits scene, we find, like, Tony is, like, narrating, and we find out that the whole movie is just, like, him talking to Bruce Banner. And I have Bruce, not that kind of doctor, a.k.a. Tony narrating.
I was having Bruce fell asleep.
Bruce slept.
Because he's like, huh, no, yep, keep going. Where were we?
I know what's going on, guys.
My favorite part is, like, Tony was like, when did you fall asleep? He's like, elevator in Switzerland. He's like, okay. And then
so you didn't hear any of what I just said?
And then he goes to, like, start to narrate the first movie to him.
No, he's like, okay, when I was 14, I still had a nanny. That's weird.
Yeah.
I think that this is nearing the end of the podcast because we've gone through the movie.
Yep.
We've gone through our notes.
Yep.
Anything you'd like to say, Sarah?
Honey's Pizza didn't come up in this one because
unless, of course, Penny Potts goes there.
Fine, I'll add her to the notes.
Sarah doesn't like. I thought you liked adding notes to Honey's Pizzeria. She just doesn't like admitting she's wrong, I think.
It's Penny Potts.
It's Penny Potts, I'm assuming, because you kept calling Pepper that.
Go. Penny Potts
goes to Honey's Pizzeria
as a customer.
How do you know she doesn't work there? Maybe Penny Potts is Honey's girlfriend.
Okay, fine.
Or maybe she...
And is girlfriend to Honey.
Okay.
Start with a C.
So yeah.
That's the end.
This is the end of the podcast.
Woot woot.
Sarah has a YouTube and an Instagram account. This podcast has a YouTube channel where you can listen to these podcasts. And an Instagram account. I have an Instagram account and a YouTube channel.
2 YouTube channels.
More than
one.
I have more than one YouTube and Instagram account. Don't worry about it. It's fine. This is the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. I almost said Thomas Sanders sign out. I don't know why.
That is none of our names.
Guys, gals, not matter. Why is that what went through my head?
I don't know.
I was like, cheesy sign off. Thomas Sanders.
Well, okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Goodbye. Only 38 minutes.
Oh, wow. I thought that. Okay.